Football Live here on a Friday night. Dick Fain with you. I'll be with you until the top of the hour, and then Brian Abker will take over with your trip around the state, your big game of the night as well. But right now, we're talking to some of the great coaches in the state of Washington, and Dave McKenna has done an unbelievable job at Gonzaga Prep, leading his team almost perennially to state, including last year with a berth in the state quarterfinals. And the head coach of the Gonzaga Prep Bullpups joins us here on Sports Radio KJR. How you doing, Coach?
Doing fantastic. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
You bet. You guys have done such a good job. Your whole coaching staff over there really elevating the Bullpups to one of the elite teams in Eastern Washington. And last year, certainly one of those situations. You ran into a tough Bellarmine team in the state quarterfinals. Maybe talk about what you had coming back for this season, because you're off to a good 2-0 start.
Well, I got my whole coaching staff back, which is a huge plus. I got great coaches that coach with me here, and I'm very blessed to have them. We graduated 9 starters on offense last year, and so we brought in some fantastic players, but they're just real green. We got coming back is a great quarterback, Kevin Thomas, who's a great leader on and off the field for us here at Gonzaga Prep. Tom Davis is a returning starter at running back and doing a fantastic job. And then Jordan Rathbone, who was a starting receiver, we moved to safety. He was the other returning guy coming back. Other than that, everybody's new on offense. But after the first couple of weeks here, they're doing fantastic on offense. Defense, we've got 5 starters back on defense, and they produce for us. We've got to constantly get better, but they're doing a great job for us as well.
Dave McKenna joining us, head coach of Gonzaga Prep. The first couple of games of the season, you get wins, which are nice, but obviously with a lot of the turnover, there's probably some bumps in the road as well. What are some of the things that you've seen over the first 2 games you really like, and consequently, what are the things that are concerning you a little bit?
Well, I like our production on offense. We put up 51 points last Friday, which is wonderful for us. Actually, for anybody, I think 51's a great number. However, the inconsistencies is a problem on offense. We need to be more consistent with our blocking and then protecting the football. Too many turnovers. We had 3 turnovers, picking 2 fumbles. We can't do that. And then defensively, we held University with our starters to 14 points, which is wonderful. However, it's a big place. They scored on a 70-yard screen that is unacceptable. And then they had also a great kickoff return to set them up in good field position. Those are concerns. Our kicking game did improve week 2 versus week 1. So we need to get better there, and we did. But the concerns are the consistency. Mm-hmm. With green kids, they got to get game reps. And so hopefully as we move further in the season, they'll get more consistent.
Well, your ground game is solid as always, 425 yards rushing on 64 carries in your last game. It accounts for over 80% of your total offense. You had 500 yards on offense. Let's talk about this two-headed monster running back. You had a kid, Jack Bamas. Am I pronouncing his name correctly?
Yep.
Jack Bamas in week number 1 with 182 yards, and then he goes down with an injury in week number 2, and you had a little shiftier kid come in and fill in and do a nice job. Talk about those 2 kids.
Jack is a strong, big running back, powerful. He's very explosive, but he's only played football for two years prior to this year. So he's got, at the varsity level, he has less than 2 full games under his belt. So he's very green, but he's, as it relates to football, but he's very powerful and explosive. So we're trying to get him to run with his pad level down, and so he got whacked against U-High and went out. And we have a corner by the name of Sam Dowd, that is not real big, but he's extremely strong and quick and knows football very well. And we were going to use him anyway. It just happened to use him a little bit earlier in the game than we planned. But he's a phenomenal running back and a great young man as well. They give us 2 different backs for the same position, which is nice to have. For opposing defense with the game plan against them, it causes some problems. Had
Dowd gotten a lot of reps in practice leading up to that point, or mainly on defense?
Mostly defense. But we do 2 platoon, and he's the only guy that's going both ways right now.
Okay.
But he's getting 10, 15, 20 minutes a day over on offense. We were limited with what we could call with him, but he's been in our program for 3 years, and so we can tell him, hey, you need to block this guy, or we're going to do this blocking scheme, and he can adjust.
Dave McKenna joining us, the head coach of Gonzaga Prep. Want to talk a little bit about what the Greater Spokane looks like here in just a moment. But first, a very special Saturday you guys had last Saturday, as you do, I understand, every year. Talk about the ALS Walk in Spokane that you did last Saturday.
Well, we have a very good friend by the name of Steve Gleason, who is played football here, graduated in 1995, went on, played at Washington State. Then he had 7 wonderful years with New Orleans Saints.
Sure.
Was a special teams guy for them down there and blocked the punt on Monday night. Make a long story short, he's always been a part of our program. And he was diagnosed a few years back with ALS. And for us to, he asked us always to inspire him. He always inspired us. And as a favor, he asked us to inspire him sometimes. So we the head coach here, we've taken on the role of supporting ALS and trying to find a cure for ALS. And so every year in September, they have a ALS Walk to draw attention to ALS, also raise money for ALS and the cure for ALS. And we take the football program out there. Every sophomore through senior, we bus out there. Had shirts made in honor of Steve, and we walked the 3 miles in honor of Steve. We don't practice. We don't watch film. We come in and we do that on that Saturday. And I want the kids to know, when we talk about being grateful for the things we have, for our friendship, our family, and to when we walk, we reflect on that. And hopefully they say a couple prayers on their way about what they're grateful for in honor of Steve. And so that's what we do on that Saturday. And it's a wonderful event for our kids.
Very, very cool. And it raised almost $30,000. And since 2000, the ALS walks around the country have raised over $172 million. So it's great that you are a part of that each and every year. Coach Dave McKenna joining us from Gonzaga Prep. Tell us a little bit about the Greater Spokane League. Kind of a surprise to see you guys, at least preseason, picked to finish 4th in your conference. It's not very usual that you're anywhere but 1st or 2nd in that conference. So there's got to be some other big guns out there that you have to contend with this year.
There's great parity in our league this year, and there is. Meade High School went to the state quarterfinals last year as well. They're picked. Central Valley was picked high. They got their quarterback returning. They're very strong. We play Ferris this week, and they're picked up there as well. They're outstanding, and Coach Sharkey's done a great job up there. But then at the 3A level as well, we got Shadle Park in the league, who's got Rippon coming back. He's doing an outstanding job. There's just a lot of parity in our league. And so it makes it very, very difficult week in and week out. There's nobody that's soft. It's a very, very tough league, and I think our league's well represented when we go to the state level.
No question, it is every single year. Well, Coach, we wish you the best of luck all season long, and hopefully we're talking to you again in early December.
Dick, thank you. I appreciate you having me on. I appreciate that.
You bet. Dave McKenna, the head coach of the Gonzaga Prep. Big game